Hello and welcome to the Main Cave. Now in today's video we are going to be looking at this. So this is the relatively new Sonos Era 300 speaker. It's an absolute powerhouse of a Wi-Fi speaker that I've been using for the past few weeks. So if you're new here, we make regular videos on gaming and technology for your smart home, so please do consider subscribing, as we may make a video to make your life easier and I wouldn't want you to miss out. So do hit that subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So the speaker here was sent to me by Sonos themselves, and it's not the only Sonos product I have. Last year I bought the Sonos Ray, which has now moved several times but ended up high up in the bedroom above my TV. And I also have the older generation Sonos Play 1 and Sonos Play 3, both in the kitchen. So this Sonos Era is going high up at one end of the kitchen, and the Play 1 will relocate to the middle, so forming like a triangle of sound with my other Play 3. So let's talk about the unboxing real quick then. Now there's not really that much to it. If you ever used a Sonos product before, it's all very minimal, with usually just the speaker and a power cable and a limited manual. Sonos has always come across to me as a fashionable minimalist brand, and that's how their speakers are packaged. So pulling it out, you're treated to a surprisingly large speaker, much larger than I was expecting. It weighs in at 4.5 kilograms, is around 16 centimeters high, 26 centimeters wide, and about 18 centimeters deep. You'll notice that the speaker itself is quite an unusual shape, and this is purposefully by design. This means that the speakers inside and the tweeters inside can be physically angled, directing the sound up and around the room to help with the spatial sound. On the top is the touch controls, more of that in a bit. Then on the back is for the power and a USB-C port. Now this can be used for many things, and as they suggest, either a 3.5mm in or an Ethernet, but you would need a separate adapter for both of them to work. There's also a physical switch to turn the mic on and off, then on the bottom are two large rubber feet if you want to rest it on the table. When you view the speaker from the front, you essentially see the very large front grille with Sonos written top centre. It's minimal, clean, it gives the appearance of it being larger than it is without the curved waistline inside it uses to direct the speakers. The recommended retail price on this unit is £449, and for those who want a serious bang for their buck, then this speaker has more than capable of everything I've thrown at it over the past few weeks. Strap in, as this speaker is packing. It supports Dolby Atmos, Wi-Fi Play, Bluetooth, Line-In, TruePlay, Apple AirPlay 2. And if you don't want to control it via the app or your voice, then instead of a touch controls on the top for things like play, pause, volume, and an on-off voice assistant button. Speaking of voice assistant, it also has Alexa built in, and there's a physical button on the rear which toggles the mic, as we said, so no one can accidentally set it off if you don't want them to. So as I said, this thing is packing with pretty much everything you could want. The way I use it is in my kitchen, and I have it linked up to Alexa, so whenever I play music in the kitchen, it comes from all of those three speakers in unison. If you want to see the difference in size, here it is alongside the Play 1 and the Play 3. I won't be doing a sound test comparing them, as it's an unfair fight really. The Era just sounds better, much better surround, and with the appropriate source material, it's night and day the difference. That's not saying the 3 still holds up, it does. But for the right source, you want the right speaker, and for things like top-end Dolby Atmos, this thing sounds immense. As we saw earlier, it has rubber feet on it if you want to be able to use it tabletop, but my preferred method is to hang it on the wall. For that you need a wall mount. Now there is an official mount, but for £35 I got a third-party one, and it works okay. Just make sure you hang it on with good quality fittings. Unfortunately, the ones that came in the box from Amazon, they just weren't good enough really, so I got my own ones. And it needs to be good as the speaker's heavy. As you can see, it looks awesome pointing out away from the wall. Setup time then, and this is easy and very familiar if you own any Sonos product. Just turn it on, fire up the app and follow the instructions. Once you have it in the app then, it's there to do what you want to do. Add it to a room, add it to Alexa, etc. For me though, I have a room in my Alexa app called Kitchen, which has my 2 Play Sonos speakers. It didn't work if I tried to add the new Era to that room, and to get it to work I actually had to delete the room entirely and create a new room and adding the 3 speakers, and from there on it worked fine. As for the Sonos app, it was straightforward, just group them up using the icons at the bottom. Then once up and running, I fired up my local radio station and I have it all now playing beautifully in the kitchen. So speaking of sound then, here's a sound test, but please bear in mind this is coming from my phone via the app, and so won't be the ultimate in surround quality, but it is really good. And also, YouTube will have compressed this, but you get the idea. So here's the test. Right then, so who is this speaker for? Well, personally, a speaker of this calibre is pretty cheap at £450. The problem arises when you want to make a complete cinema setup out of it, as you may need 2 of them and a subwoofer, and amongst other things, which will take you way into 4 figures. But if you just want a very good sounding speaker which looks good, feels good, sounds amazing, you can't go wrong with the Era 300. For me, just adding 1 speaker to my setup was good enough. If you want a complete Era cinema setup, you will need to spend out, but having 1 is a good first step. On its own, then you won't be able to use it on, say, your PS5 out of the box, so listening to music from your phone or via the Sonos app, or music stations via Apple Music, as we mainly do in the kitchen, it is ideal. The Sonos Era 300 is a solid speaker that sounds amazing, looks good, doesn't really cost the earth. Yes, it's £450, but there's some serious value to be had, and this speaker will last you years and years. So let me know if you've got one then, or you're thinking of get one. Let me know down in the comments below. Take care, and until the next video, bye bye.